apartment, muttering to himself. His ulcer. Now, surely a raging inferno. The battle lines were drawn. Jack and Vicky had chosen their path, together, against all odds, and against the formidable opposition of her father. Their new life, in the apartment above Jack's restaurant, promised to be anything but ordinary. Chapter 5. The Last Goodbye to Palm Drive. The apartment at 240 North Palm Drive, once a vibrant hub of shared lives and laughter, now echoed with a melancholic emptiness. Boxes, taped and labeled, stood like silent sentinels in every corner, marking the end of an era. Janet, now Mrs. Philip Dawson, had already left for her honeymoon. Terry was packing for her move to Hawaii, and Jack, with Vicky by his side, was preparing to move into their new apartment above his restaurant. Larry, ever helpful, if a little clumsy, was heaving a particularly heavy box. "No. Ow," he grunted, dropping it with a thud. "What did you pack in here? It weighs a ton." "I'm sorry, Jack," Vicky said, a hint of amusement in her voice. She had packed some of her heavier books, eager to start building their shared library. Jack, who was supervising the move, chuckled. "Hey, you guys, how many more bags are there?" "Just a few," Larry replied, wiping sweat from his brow. Mr. Furley, their landlord, stood in the doorway, observing the exodus with a mixture of exasperation and genuine sadness. "Gee, with all three of you moving out at once, I should have rented a freight car," he grumbled, but his eyes held a nostalgic glint. "Get it on, Harry. Be careful with it." "All right," Jack instructed Larry, who was now struggling with a large, oddly shaped package. "Cinderella," Larry muttered under his breath, still bemoaning the endless tasks. Terry emerged from the bathroom, a final check complete. "Did you check the bathroom, Jack?" "Oh, I forgot. Terry, I'll do it right now," Jack replied, heading towards the bathroom. "Okay, thanks." As Jack disappeared, Vicky turned to Terry, a question in her eyes. "Why did you quit your job at the hospital? I thought you liked nursing." Terry smiled, a serene, determined look on her face. "Oh, I'm still going to be a nurse, but someplace where I feel more useful." She paused, her gaze distant, filled with a quiet passion. "Oh, you see, I've always dreamed about going off to some remote island and tending to the needs of the poor, sick natives, and that's what I'm going to do." Vicky's eyes widened, impressed by Terry's selfless ambition. "Terry, that's just beautiful. Would I end?" "Hawaii," Terry announced, a triumphant sparkle in her eyes. Vicky laughed, a genuine, joyful sound. "Excuse me." Larry, who had been listening in, shook his head, a look of disbelief on his face. "Aren't you finished taping that yet?" He gestured to a box Terry was sealing. Yeah, it's ready to go," Terry replied, quickly finishing the task. Jack returned from the bathroom, looking tired but satisfied. "Well, just stand there. Get the bottom half, Larry," he instructed, directing Larry to help with a large mirror. "This is so much fun," Larry muttered sarcastically, but he complied. "Okay, Terry, the bathroom is finished and I personally am pooped," Jack announced, collapsing onto the only remaining armchair. Janet, having returned briefly to collect a forgotten item, entered the living room, a radiant glow still surrounding her. "Hey." "Yeah." "Where'd you take this picture?" Jack asked, picking up a framed photograph from the mantelpiece, a picture of a pristine beach. Janet's eyes lit up. "Let me see." "Oh, Terry, this is one of the pictures from our honeymoon in Oc. Look, there's our room right there." She pointed to a small balcony visible in the photograph. "Oh, yeah." Terry peered at it. "Oh, I hear the beach there is beautiful." "Oh, yes, and it's one of the first things we plan to see next time we're there." Janet smiled, a happy memory washing over her. "Excuse me," Larry mumbled, still struggling with the mirror. "Anyway, how was Jack while I was gone?" Janet asked Terry, a knowing look in her eye. Terry rolled her eyes. "Oh, he nearly drove me crazy. All he kept talking about was Vicky and moving into their new apartment tonight." Janet turned to Vicky, a concerned frown on her face. "Gee, Terry, I hope she isn't going to mind living above his restaurant." Vicky smiled, a soft, loving look at Jack. "Why should she? Mr. Angelino gave them a very good deal," she assured Janet, dismissing her worries. "Oh, well, good for him," Janet replied, relieved. "Yeah, I gotta get back to work." Terry said, gathering her thing. Oh, yeah. Hey, Terry, did Jeanette hesitated, a mischievous glint in her eye. Do you ever think that Jack would actually fall in love? Terry laughed, a hearty, genuine sound. Not for more than one day, really. When I think of all the girls that he has chased over the years, I get tired. Me, too, Janet agreed, chuckling. Janet, Emmon, did, Jack ever make a pass at you? Terry's eyes widened. Are you kidding? No, I mean real pass. Janet clarified. No, never. Terry shook her head. Did he ever make a pass at you? Janet turned to Vicky, who was listening to the conversation with amusement. No! Vicky exclaimed, feigning indignation, then burst into laughter. Okay, well, insulting, isn't it? Janet teased, enjoying the light-hearted banter. Oh, I'm glad someone has something to laugh about around here, Larry grumbled, his voice filled with genuine sadness. Jack looked at him, surprised. Why, Larry, what's the matter? Well, I just hate to see you to leave, that's all, Larry confessed, his eyes welling up. He was genuinely fond of his roommates, despite his often gruff exterior. Oh, Larry, Janet said, touched by his sincerity. Yeah, in spite of all the bad things you said to me, Larry continued, a hint of accusation in his voice. What bad things? Jack asked, genuinely confused. Yeah, things like, no, get away from me, buzz off, yeah, things like, I'm my personal favorite, over my dead body, Larry recounted, his voice filled with mock grievance. Janet and Terry exchanged a look, then burst into laughter. Larry, we have a confession to make. We never meant those things, Janet admitted, her eyes twinkling. Huh? Larry looked at them, bewildered. Yeah, Larry, you should have tried harder, Terry teased, giving him a playful pat on the shoulder. Come on, Terry, let's give our room to last Jack, Janet said, gathering her last few items. Wait, Jack, Larry called out, turning to Jack, a look of dawning realization on his face. They were putting me on, weren't they? Jack, unable to suppress a smile, nodded. Yes. Oh, thank God. Larry breathed a sigh of relief. He then turned to Jack, his eyes once again filling with genuine emotion. Where am I going to find another buddy like you? No, you're the best friend I ever had. He pulled Jack into a surprisingly tight hug. Oh, Jack was genuinely touched, a lump forming in his throat. You're the only friend I ever had, Larry amended, his voice thick with sentimentality. Come on, Tom. Hey, man. I'm serious. I don't know what I'm going to do without you. You always pulled through for me. You were always there when I needed you. Sorry, man. I just feel so alone. Larry's voice cracked, his vulnerability laid bare. Jack, moved by Larry's heartfelt confession, hugged him back. Larry. Hey, buddy. Listen, I'm only going to be living a mile away. Larry pulled back, his eyes widening. I don't care. A mile away. You could have told me that before I made a fool out of myself. He scowled, then broke into a grin, playfully punching Jack on the arm. Mr. Furley, who had been observing the emotional affair, cleared his throat, his own sentimentality bubbling to the surface. Listen, Jack, if you get lonely in that new apartment of yours... Mr. Furley, there's something I really have to say to you, Jack interrupted, a mischievous glint in his eye. I'm not going to be living alone. Mr. Furley blinked, surprised. No, I'm going to be living with a girl, Jack announced, a proud smile on his face, glancing at Vicky. Mr. Furley's eyes widened, then narrowed in suspicion. A girl? I thought you said it was a one-bedroom apartment. It is, Jack confirmed. Oh, Jack, Mr. Furley exclaimed, his face a mixture of shock and disapproval. Jack, however, was undeterred. He looked at Mr. Furley, his voice filled with genuine appreciation. This is a big step for me, Mr. Furley. A big step. It's a giant leap, Mr. Furley declared, then paused, a thoughtful expression on his face. And I owe it all to you. To me, Mr. Furley looked genuinely surprised. Absolutely. After being around a macho guy like me all these years, sooner or later something was bound to rub off, Jack explained, a triumphant grin on his face. That makes sense, Mr. Furley nodded slowly, seemingly accepting Jack's logic. Okay, guys, that's all cleared out, Larry announced.